Okay, let's go. Okay, welcome back, guys. Welcome back to our channel. We have a special guest here, Jimmy from Madrid, Spain. How are you, Jimmy?
Hey, I'm awesome, man. Iman, let's go. Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's Barcelona, not
yeah, it's
Madrid.
Barcelona. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Jimmy is one of the OG, guys. He's been a lot around with me since yeah, since I went on take Good Morning Crypto, but right now he's pursuing a different part. So before I gotta start with the video, can you share a little bit more about yourself? Yeah, how you get into crypto for the very first time?
Yeah, I mean, just long story short is like 2017, mid 2017 summer. Um, I was working with a Web2 firm, and as an intern, so I had a friend from Pakistan and another friend from Nigeria, so this Nigerian friend, he knew that I was technical enough, okay, to understand all about all this crypto and all this stuff. So one day, like during the lunch break, he was like, Jimmy, you should really take a look into all these Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and all that stuff. You will like it. Like he mentioned to me. And I was like, okay, yeah, just send me something, I'm just going to read about it and all that stuff. So since it was like afternoon and I was at work, I couldn't like actually read about it. Okay. But when I reached home, I took a look at what he sent me. He sent me like a PDF, Blog Geeks, like one of the articles from Blog Geeks, if you remember that, the brand.
Yes.
Then what happened? I read that article. It was very basic. It was just like, what is blockchain? What is Bitcoin? What is mining, etc., etc. How is this technology so revolutionary? You know, so I mean, I was like pretty sold, as soon as I read that, because it was something like from my dream, like I always used to imagine like, hey, is there a better way to store information publicly, and also that anyone can trust without actually have to be relying on a centralized authority? And that is exactly what it was. And then it just clicked. But like, the monetary aspect side of things, I still had to pick up, and I still had to understand about like all these cryptocurrency, because like for me it was like, of course I was thinking of like fiat, but like, then combining it with like crypto, it's just like it just blew my mind. And I kept watching and I kept looking for content that same night, and then I came across, at the same time, I came across Ivan's YouTube like channel, one of his videos about cryptocurrency, not about cryptocurrency. He was talking about like more like programming, how to program this stuff, and he also connected with me because I was very interested in programming and all this technology side of thing. So since it was like cryptocurrency programming and all that stuff, I I was like, that's when my journey with like Ivan and Tech and Moralis actually began back in like 2017. So till day I go back to like that Nigerian guy and I tell him, hey man, look, whatever you said that day, it just changed my life, and I really cannot thank you enough. And he's just like amazing. He's just like, that's amazing. So that's like just a long story short, and then everything is history, after that.
Yeah, the rest is history, right? Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the our story. How you get in crypto, right? I mean, what was your aha moment when you said, "Oh, Bitcoin is here to stay; it's not going anywhere"? I mean, what was the aha moment when you
Well, I
decided
mean,
and you devoted yourself into this industry?
yeah, I mean, that was, I would say, like probably around like mid to late 2019 was when I was like completely sold. I still had like, I of course I bought the top in 2017,
Yeah, the same.
like I bought all that shit ICOs and all
Exactly.
those
Yeah.
stuff. Because I remember Litecoin was my first purchase, through Coinbase app. And I remember it took me like around almost close to a month to get the sign up and all that set up, so. And then I bought all those like ICOs, like Substratum and all those ICOs. And then like, I mean, of course, like Bitcoin was like around $2,500 when I first saw it. I just bought a few of it and I just held it. I never sold that Bitcoin. And I mean, it just like kept it. And then like back in like May of 2019, I was like, man, this everything is going to zero. I'm gonna sell everything. I sold the fucking bottom, and
Yeah, classic lah. Yeah.
so like, I mean, I sold it. I sold all the shit coins, but except that Bitcoin, small amount of Bitcoin, whatever I had, I just kept it, And then, I mean, yeah, since then I was like then I saw like the COVID thing happening and all that stuff. And then I started following it like really closely. And I was like full time into that, because since like I would say mid 2019, I wasn't really into the industry like 100%. Like I would say like beginning of 2020, I was like in full time, like DJ, I'd
Yeah.
say.
So yeah, that's your aha moment, right, in crypto, because sometimes people say that crypto is only boom and bust and it's not going anywhere. It's yeah, going to zero. So yeah, I salute you sometimes, because yeah, it's not gonna be easy. It's not easy, right, to be in that to be in the shoes, right? I mean, particularly back then when people have no conviction about the future and no influencer at all get involved in this industry. But recently, maybe Elon Musk or like Michael Saylor bring the legitimacy on the table. That's why people get on board right now. So yeah, I
Mhm.
think you're correct. It's only a matter of time before anyone go for more again. I don't know. Maybe the bull run is over or not. But yeah, that's pretty much about your journey, right? So yeah, I mean, yeah, since you like get involved in a crypto or a Web3 or something like that, and you can you share a little bit experience your in your in Moralis, like you got experience in Moralis before, right? After that you got I mean you pursue your career, right? I mean, yeah, what was your journey like? I mean, is that something that you dream about or something else?
Yeah, I mean, like, of course, like, I always wanted to work like within the crypto space, and Web3 space. And of course, like, and Ivan was like the first influential person or the first influential commentator about crypto who also knew all about the tech and all that stuff. So like, of course, like I always wanted to contribute to his brand, and that's why I like joined Ivan on Tech and then Moralis, which rebranded to Moralis. So of course, like, yeah, that journey was pretty fun. And I mean, of course, like I contributed through like mainly in the marketing, but like as it was like a startup back then. Right now it's like a
Yes,
company over like run by VC, and
yes.
of course like over 100 employees. But yeah, back then it was just like 10 people, and I was like like this is what Ivan mentioned, I was one of the
Original.
first community hired members,
Yes,
from the Ivan on Tech community. So
correct.
and there was like more other people like Mauro and Gaba and like all that stuff. It's Gaba went on to do like CTO stuff. Mauro went on to become like the head of support. I was taking care of marketing and all that stuff. And of course, like marketing in the sense like, but always felt like having skin in the game, because I always wanted to drive education, because I knew it was like very important, not just like crypto education, but like the technical side of things, because that is what which could empower people, and that is what Moralis was is doing currently. And so I started involving in that, like creating different processes, learning new things, making mistakes very quickly and learning from it, and disagreements, agreements, and all that stuff. It was really amazing, like those 2 years that I had the opportunity to to work with Ivan and his team, and yeah, it was a very good experience. I mean, Philip, Philip, right? Like, I mean,
No, it's
um,
very first OG, Yeah, that's why I know it, the very first OG. I got an offer as well to become one. I mean, but yeah, I only got the probation because
mhm.
maybe sometimes I mean they got someone better, so that's why I don't pursue a in the company. Maybe they have someone else who have better understanding about things, so that's why I only got a probation in there. That's why I'm curious about your role in the company.
Yeah, I remember like you joined for a few days and
Exactly.
yeah, like so yeah, I didn't exactly know what were the details, but yeah, of course, like I mean, of course you can always try, now it's like much more
Yeah, but yeah, it's different story lah. Maybe they have something
yeah.
better, right? And with bigger company. That's why I need to build on my own. You cannot rely on someone else, right? So that's why I wish Moralis good luck. And then yeah, I know maybe there is something happened for a reason, and then I need to deal with as a man. So that's why I think right now you're choosing another career, right? I mean, what was your doing right now? I mean, I saw you're creating content as well on YouTube. Maybe is that the thing you wanna pursue, or it's just for fun?
Yeah, I mean, look, we both know crypto is here to stay and Web3 is here to stay and all these technologies around that, like NFTs and all of these stuff. So my personal plan is to contribute as much as possible to the space, in whatever shape or form. It doesn't really matter. It has to be with a company or my company or XYZ. Currently, like, I'm keeping all my options open, and at the moment, like I am entangled into some other projects which we'll get into later, but yeah, it's mainly about like sharing content, and educating people, not just by sharing my thoughts, but actually how to go ahead and connect and use consumer dapps so that it's actually people can learn while they see. So whenever I get the time, I create like in-depth tutorials based on that. But it's not like something I would like to do like full time, or like I dedicate my whole resources to, because it's just for fun, it's just because like I just want to put content out there, and I mean that's it, and I mean the other thing is, yeah, it's more like a private consultant, and all that stuff. So I'd just continue on that path as of right now, because there are so many opportunities, and I mean I feel like I'd just be limiting my skill set just by dedicating myself to a specific role in a company or a business or a project, so I just want, because I am like that, I am like multi-skilled, so I just want to keep it open and use all my skills, whenever it's needed, so yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's why, I mean, if you're like building on your own, the flexibility comes your way, because sometimes when you join a company, you have a certain roles that sometimes you cannot cross the line, right? And then you have your own responsibility, and then you need to take that way. So, yeah, maybe before you have, experience in marketing, right? But right now it's completely different thing. I mean, how can you handle all of this? I mean, I know. I mean, you have passion in it to maybe diversify and multitasking or something like that. But in your perspective, yeah, how to I mean, become one. I mean, to manage from technical standpoint, or also marketing standpoint. Yeah, how to
Mhm.
handle all of this, because you also build your own consultant firm, right? So yeah.
Yeah, I would say like more like organizing based on your priorities. One of my skills like is one of my skills is like project management, like how to actually prioritize, how to delegate, and how to organize, and how to execute upon like different projects or different programs and certain things. So I always use those theories, in my real life, as well as like while I'm like working or anything like that. And due to these dynamic experiences that I have with like different companies, and I work from like startups to all the way up to like Nestle, and all these multinational companies. So I mean, so I use all the skill, keep it organized, as simple as possible, not like try to be perfect, make the mistakes very quickly and learn from it, and just keep executing, and just keep learning. It's like one step at a time I try to take. Just so, of course, like, because I use different tools as anyone else, like softwares and all that stuff, like not like programming, all that stuff, like basic project management, like like tools like Asana, or like Notion board or something. So I try to keep all those arranged and just progress, whatever is the priority. So
Yeah, that's pretty much about, yeah. So the consultant itself is based on what, I mean, is B2B business, or it just talk to client peer to peer, I mean, like person to person.
well, it depends. It
Oh, depends.
depends who.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it depends.
agency, right? Is the agency or
Not really. It's
oh,
like
okay.
in like consultant, as independent consultant. It
Yeah,
could be like for like a private person who just wants some advice or anything like that, or it could be for a business as well. But it's mainly very focused, and I'm very selective also who I work with, because like, I mean, first of all, like, I don't want any miscommunication, anything to fall like that. So I always make sure, like, the person who I'm doing business with, or like the business who I'm doing business with, is very clear in their communication. I don't want that like person saying ABC and then meaning DEF. I want like very clear
yeah,
communication, transparent, so that it's we are on the same page. Otherwise, we have yeah, it's not I don't feel confident doing business like that. So I'm very transparent in that way.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, because do whatever you do, because sometimes people, prioritize what is called money over education. But sometimes we need to be authentic as well, right? We need to have like trust in public. Yeah, money is important for sure, but at the same time, you need to build trust as well, right? To get involved with the community, right? So that's why I agree. I mean, your job right now, I wish you good luck with your job. So yeah, that's pretty much about what you're doing right now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thanks, man. And it's really amazing to see that you have like a YouTube channel and all that. Of course, like, I mean, you're always invited whenever you want to my channel. Maybe someday we can,
Yeah,
host you
maybe,
and learn
because
about
right
more
now, like,
about you.
I'm still practicing by inviting people in my channel, so that's yeah, that's about it, I mean, yeah, learning along the way. So yeah, that's about journey. Yeah. Well, one thing I wanna ask about yourself, maybe it's not about yourself, but in particular the work of what you're doing, because as you can see on my screen right now, I saw your YouTube channel. Maybe people who have no idea about the Web3, I mean, maybe, well, before I get into some question in details right now, maybe you like, can you share about what Web3 is all about? I mean, in general, before I ask you one of your content right now.
Absolutely. I mean, Web3 for different people means different thing, because it depends on what benefit they can acquire from Web3. But for me, mainly, if you had to pick one benefit, what I see Web3 and crypto can bring or is bringing, it's the ownership aspect, the ownership of any item or any object or any good that a person can actually own it, like a house, for example. Okay, you have currently like a notary certificate which the government has to sign on it, and you have to seal on it, and so on and so forth. So it's a centralized party. If the centralized party gets hacked, they can actually change all the information in that certificate. But with blockchain, you cannot actually do that because it's already written on chain and everyone can actually see it. So this is why I see the ownership aspect of Web3 being the most important feature and benefit and value add to the world. In different forms, like NFT and like all sorts of forms. It's basically like a database. Like everything is like it's like a database, but it's decentralized. That's how I see it, and it's not change. Nobody can change it. There needs to be a consensus. So
Yeah, I agree. There's ownership element in the Web3. That's why people find it valuable and get involved in Web3. But at the same time, I saw the criticism of it, such as it's not really it's not really yours, because it's only digital representation of the what is called the thing on the blockchain.
mhm.
Maybe in the future it's not really on the internet as well. I mean, can you like react to the criticism, such criticism? I mean, maybe you can debunk or something like that. So yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, like we have currently like I would say like the challenge of the decentralization aspect and the ownership aspect of thing is all about solving for decentralized storage. Where are you actually storing that information? Currently, people use AWS, Google Bigtable, and all sorts of like
In
all these
Mira, yeah.
centralized options. Yeah, to store all this information, because so that's why it's not like end to end like decentralization. So there are different projects like Filecoin, Arweave, there's Shadow Protocol within Solana. These guys are actually solving for that storage and the computation side of things. Like the RPC nodes and validator nodes. They are decentralizing every aspect of the blockchain. So once the storage is solved and much more efficient, then the entire stack of like blockchain, or what we call as distributed ledger technology, will be wholly decentralized, and it will be on the blockchain forever, like the information and the ownership of that content and so on and so forth. Because what I see in the future, it's going to be all these companies like Amazon, Google, and all these Microsoft. These guys are on board. These guys are going to create those sort of like distributed storage systems, so all these networks can use them, because this is the next step for them. Anyways, they are like tech company. How long do you think it's going to take them to just get to the next level? Not long. It's just a big company. They move slow processes. Once the regulation is in place, once there's like a good sort of like regulation, and this asset class is recognized much more, there's no question about that. Everyone and their mother and their business, everyone is going to be on board. So yeah.
Yeah, because it's still dependent on AWS, right? I mean, it's not really. I mean, we need to define the word decentralized as well, right? I mean, sometimes people say that decentralized is pure end to end like Bitcoin, but sometimes people only care about decentralization in that data storage that you mentioned before. So that's why it's the term of decentralization need to be fix, and then we can agree on such definition, right? So maybe that's the only matters is we need to define first what decentralization is all about, right?
Yeah, I totally see your point of view, and my the way I look at decentralization is like, I mean, we cannot define decentralization. Why? Because it's like a spectrum, it's like take like a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being like more centralized and 10 being like decentralized. So we like businesses, companies, protocols, everything is going to move from that scale of like 1 to 10. So you just have to find the balance, the right balance for you. Some companies are going to be like centralized, which is going to be in 1, and some companies are going to, like protocols or businesses are going to be in the 10. So it's like I look at it that way. Maybe the whole future is like a decentralized in like 100% end to end, but I don't see it in my lifetime. Of course there's this thing you need to there needs to be different rules and regulations, like new rules and regulations, which needs to be created based on how this technology actually works and how it changes the fundamental way of thinking, because we cannot use the regulations which is already there or just modify them here and there. You actually need to understand this technology very deeply in order to actually come up with different rules, which is a win-win for everyone, for the industry participants, for the regulators, for investors, and there's so many participants. So that's why this range, at the moment. So now, yeah, and of course, like the word decentralization, I would say is actually absurd. We shouldn't be even calling DeFi decentralized finance, because it's no way decentralized finance. It's just
I know
everything
that's
control. Like, as you
explanation.
know, like, yeah, like OpenSea, MetaMask, like, due to all these yeah, I'm just mentioning this due
Yeah,
to all these
facing,
Russia
yeah,
and
facing
Ukraine,
website or
you
something.
know,
Yeah.
yeah, they're just like like blacklisting all the IPs from those regions. So like I doubt, like I guess we have to rethink decentralization, but in a different way. So let's see.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Yeah, there is always a debate, but out there. So yeah, you just need to watch out, and then need to define for yourself as well. So yeah, maybe there's such as a thing that we talk about. But right now, I maybe if we talk about it, we just need more time to explain. But I just only curious about and one thing only. I mean, you mentioned about the yeah, you work in Terra Luna, right? And Solana, right? I mean, as we know that Terra Luna acquired a lot of Bitcoin by creating the yield, I mean, out of thin air by 20%, if I'm not mistaken. If you
Mhm.
put a stable coin, yeah, US Terra Luna, you get a reward from that. So yeah, can you like explain in I mean, yeah, not in technical way, but for the all people can understand what is happening with the Terra Luna blockchain.
Yeah, so I mean, Terra is basically trying to make their stablecoin, the algorithmic stablecoin UST, the standard stablecoin across different chains. So that is why before and right now too, UST's peg, which is pegged to the US dollar, was based on a minting and burning mechanism. Like
Yes,
when you
like
burn
nine, right?
yeah, when you burn $1 worth of Luna token, like the coin, you can generate $1 worth of UST, which is a stable coin. And once you burn $1 worth of like UST, which is $1, and you can mint $1 worth of Luna. So that's how the mechanism work. And all these arbitrage people, they keep making profit, based on the peg being up above $1 or lower than $1. So that was the mechanism till today. Okay, but now Do Kwon recently started making all these decisions, and of course is going on right now to acquire more Bitcoin to back the stability or the peg of UST. Okay, so that's why there's a board of directors within Luna Foundation, GARD,
Right.
LFG. Yeah,
Yeah.
LFG, exactly. I don't know how he came up with a name, but it's really
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, yeah. Okay, that's good.
So
Yeah.
basically, he added Bitcoin to the mix. So now you have Luna and you have Bitcoin, which combines together in the treasury in different percentage, but we won't get into too much detail. It's just like it works like how the fiat system works, okay, but in a crypto way. So that's why Bitcoin, because we know and we are pretty confident that Bitcoin is the digital gold or an asset class which is going to be there, Bitcoin. So that's why they selected Bitcoin to back the value or the DPEG of Luna, because once the market actually starts going down or not in our favor, let's say we have a bear market or something, if Luna cannot hold the peg or back that 20% yield and all that stuff, there's Bitcoin always to stabilize that $1 price of UST. So that's why they're trying to be the de facto algorithmic stablecoin across different chains, not just Solana. They have it on Ethereum, Avalanche. They have it on Solana as well for sure. And I mean, they're going to expand to all other chains as well. So that's their plan in short. And what I heard from Do Kwon himself in one of the interviews, he mentioned it's not just going to be Bitcoin, and they're just not going to like stop there. They're going to expand with like other different L1 coins like Solana, like Avalanche. So this will be decided by the 7 people within the LFG board of directors or like the founders. So it's like a multi-sig side sort of a decision. They need to come into consensus. So everyone has their own coin, right? Like let's say if we both are there, one of the members of LFG, you will say probably your favorite coin is what's your favorite coin, like, or favorite L1, let's say.
Oh, no, I don't have any specific coin. I mean, like I like Bitcoin, but if you like mention, maybe people like pretend me to say that, oh, you're shilling or something like that. Maybe, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. For example, Bitcoin. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, so Bitcoin. So you like Bitcoin, and let's say I select, like, for example, like Ethereum or let's say Solana. So there needs to be a decision which coin to select in order to actually go ahead and put in that treasury of that Luna Foundation org in order to back USD. So that's just a general gist of it, of the high level
Yeah,
of
that's
what's going on.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I see that. There is a technical background. I mean, like when you like purchase Bitcoin with APY, right, like 20% or something. I mean, uh, people who have no idea also. I mean, I have no idea, right, where the yield is come from, right? You have no idea. I mean, you know where it's come from. I mean, 20% or something. I mean, I know it's algorithmic like DAI or MakerDAO or something like that, but it's too much yield. I don't know how they can generate that thing. I mean, yeah. How do you like measure that the APY?
Yeah, I mean, uh, so basically, they have this. Like, first of all, I totally agree to the cynicism, but how I see it, like how the protocol is designed, it's very actually simple, and I mean, the thing is, they took like a 20% APY right now. It seems like seriously high, but actually, it's actually way below the APY that they should be giving. And this is not from, like, they started off with 20 and they're almost like 19.49 and so on and so forth. They have this treasury going on, and they have this people who borrow like assets from like Anchor protocol. So that's how they maintain that thing, so this treasury always backs that APY of like 20%. So there's always this factor always playing in. So that's why they have a steady rate of like 20%. Of course, am I saying, like, is it going to be like 20% all throughout, like maybe 20 years from now? Probably not, highly
Yeah.
not, So I mean, yeah, because as UST keeps growing, the APY will start dropping, So I mean, that's the goal, and
Yeah,
it makes
because
sense
yeah,
for them.
it's attract a lot of people, right, to get involved into Luna, right? Yeah, because they attract the APY, but if you don't know the risk, I mean, what's your how do you pack those risks? I mean, what's the risk involved in the high APY? I mean, I know it's a permanent impermanent loss or something like that, but in such a Terra Luna coin, I mean, it's something that's I know it's also when it comes to stablecoin is involves network effect. Right? I mean, I don't know
Mhm.
what the network effects right now is still a USDT, but USDT is still centralized, right? But people have faith in USDT. But what about UST itself?
Yeah, I mean, UST, like I mentioned, these guys are trying to be the stable coin. I'm not defending them, or I'm not like, for or against them. I'm just like my view. I use UST sometimes and I don't, but if I had to choose between USDC and UST, at the moment, I would select like go for USDC, because it's much more, because we are not in a critical moment where government is
Yeah,
seizing all the assets and so on and so forth. But anyways, UST's point is like, yeah, I just see it as a good play, and if it gets the market adoption, what Do Kwon and Terra people like think, the whole ecosystem, it's good for them. It's good for crypto in general. Like I mean, we will have like the stable coin which is fully decentralized, but I'm also looking into like different other stable coins which are there within Solana native, like UXD. I created a video, it's on my channel, but it also has a very similar sort of a design, but I like the UXD design much more better, because it depends on it depends on like the derivatives market, and derivative markets are much more liquid, and it just depends on the price action of the assets. So I think it's much more sustainable, that model. But yeah, USD, of course, they're going with like the traditional fiat backing and all that stuff. So yeah, it looks pretty. Everything doesn't fit in, but I think it does fit in when you actually run the numbers. I have a few threads here and there, which where you can actually prove that it's that 20% APY is pretty genuine, and it's all being calculated, and it's all being managed by that market, the whole market and the protocol.
Yeah, because it's not about what is called being calculated or what, because sometimes algorithmic stablecoin cannot predict that, right? Because it's based on supply and demand, right? And then the market right now yeah, tends to it's slow or something like that. But I see your point before, because yeah, people is still, I don't know, have a faith in USDT or something because the liquidity is there. And then
Mhm.
USD, maybe right now, recently, because of Terra Luna price is going up and up. And then that's why the stable coin is also, get, a lot of attention, right? And then, yeah, I think it's only matter of, what's best, what suit you best, right? When it comes to,
Mhm.
yeah, which one is better, right? Because we cannot like, oh, this stable coin is better, stable
Mhm.
coin, this is better, because some people, yeah, some project also launching their own coin, right? And their own stable
Mhm.
coin, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, look, like Near came up with the same design, like recently, USDN or something. Near, they're exactly like taking a lot of inspiration from UST's design, UST and Luna's design. So recently, I'm sure, like you know
Iran
this.
Cosmos, right? If I'm not mistaken, they partner with Cosmos, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like they're taking inspiration, and so they're creating a different sort of lot of model. So there are all sorts of model, and I completely agree with you. This is like, it's not like, okay, this is the one and I only use this. It's like whenever you need, you use, like whatever is available, depending on the risk, factor,
Yeah,
however,
there is
so
tolerance, right? Yeah,
yeah,
because
yeah.
for me as like I'm not like doing arbitrage or something. I'm just a normal guy who like lowest risk tolerance. When it comes to USDT yield, I think it's already big for me. Even it's just 10%. I mean, it's already big. Other than that, I mean, like UST or something, I think it's just too much risk for me, because I cannot handle that risk. Because yeah, I know there's 20%, yeah, 20% APY, and then
Mhm.
maybe 50% on another protocol. That's why I just calculate those risks, and if you want to play, I mean, just a small amount of money. So I don't know. It's just the way I am.
Yeah. I mean, it's completely fine, like, I mean, it's completely fine, so I mean, there is no right and wrong, and it just depends on personal preferences, and nobody, I don't think so we should influence anyone to do something,
Yeah,
whatever. Like, if you think it's like, this is right for you, it's right for you, like, I mean, you but like, the people know what choice is right for them, so I always like, we can share our own thoughts, but it's always up to them, to click that button, or and
exactly.
it's
That's why we
it's
need
like
to
we have.
like have a podcast, right, and debate, because we cannot tell people what to do, right? We just share information, and you guys can decide what to do with your life, right? So yeah, that's
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely. Like, I mean, absolutely. Like, because like especially on YouTube, like, I mean, you will see, like, if you talk about like a project or something, and usually I don't do any sponsors or stuff like that, I
yeah,
just
me
I
too.
just do based on what I love, so I mean, and then people come to your comment section and they'll be like, oh, Jimmy, why is the price not going up? I'm like, yeah, my uncle, my uncle is like taking care of the markets, right? So you want the price to go up for me. I'm like, man, like, what? If it goes up, good for you. If it doesn't go up, good, don't good for you. Like, I just shared some information. It's for my purpose. If you want to watch, you watch. That's my policy. It's not. I'm not like doing like YouTube for views or likes or this or that. Like.
Yeah, I know. Because doing it, that's why we put a disclaimer at the very beginning, because sometimes people, yeah, have no idea what they're watching, and then just follow it blindly, and then, yeah, got
Mhm.
tracked at the end. So, yeah, that's pretty much about it. Yeah, maybe, yeah, one last question about the, yeah, one of your content is about the Wormhole attack. I mean, I know there's like exploit attack in the DeFi space. Like, is exploited by uh, the protocol or what? I mean, can you like explain in the not in the details? I mean, like just what's happening in general?
Yeah, I mean, a wormhole, it's like a bridge, it's a bridge between like 7 different chains, like Ethereum, Phantom, Solana, Terra, and all that stuff. So it's like, yeah, the bridge got exploited. So bridge is basically like, let's say this side is Ethereum, this side is, for example, Solana, and this is the bridge. So if you want to move assets from Solana to Ethereum, you put the assets to the bridge, and then it gets converted into the assets on the Ethereum side of things. So this, at the assets on the bridge, it got exploited, like it got just hacked. So like basically around like $300 million worth of like wrapped Ethereum was like exploited. And since there was like big institutions who were like backing the bridge, the construction of the bridge and the core infrastructure, like Jump Trading, these guys are like really huge. So they came and just they compensated everyone. So the hacker is not yet doxed. So it's still being taken care of, but like, I mean, they reimbursed everyone who lost their funds because of the exploit. So yeah, it's like a bridge, and there are always risks, it's just like software, so you just need to be a bit more careful, and make sure people are monitoring, so, and all that stuff. And I mean, recently, yeah, recently, as you know, there was like another second big hack or exploit in Solana called Casio, which was a stable coin which got depegged. Did you follow that story?
About the exploit,
Yeah, the
wormhole.
Casio, the second.
Yeah, I heard of it, but I don't know in details. Yeah, I mean, what's
Mm.
about it? I mean, yeah, can you like?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I would. I also got wrecked in that one.
Yeah, exactly.
In Casio. So Casio is it's a $52 million exploit, but the losses were approximately like 77 million. So basically, it's like a stable coin with just depegged. So and there are like all these liquidity providers, LPs within like Saber and all those other protocols who use like cash as one of their liquidity pair. They got all liquidated because the exploiter, they minted a lot, 2 billion, 2 billion cash tokens, and then they replaced it with all the other actual dollar, like USDC, USDT, USD, and they bridged everything back to like Ethereum. And right now, like, we were able to like recover like almost like 14.6 million of the funds. So right now, which is approximately like 30% of our total losses, like community losses, but there's approximately like 10,000 ETH, which needs to be returned back to us, the community. And that's why we are negotiating still with the exploiter on chain. You can see all these messages on chain. If you go to Etherscan and just search for like Casio Explorer, you will see the address. So we are negotiating, and we will make sure the Casio Explorer, they wanted to do charity, that's what they said. We are going to give everyone all the funds back, like all the people who lost below like 100,000, all their funds back. So these people, they got all their funds back. Like the people above like 100,000, majority of the accounts are partially refunded. So these guys, there's approximately like 10,000 ETH which needs to be returned, and then white hat bounty, and the exploiters, they get full immunity, no legal cases, and so on and so forth. There's a lot more going on, which I cannot disclose in
Yeah, I know,
public
I know, I
due
know.
to yeah,
Yeah,
but anyways, that's like the long story short. But yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, because how to prevent such a thing? Because I know it's all over the place. Hacking like the smart contract and hacking,
Mhm.
exploit the wormhole attack, or yeah, it's happening all over DeFi, right? I mean, do you like? Do you have any ideas how to prevent such a thing from happening, or?
Well, like previously, like years ago, I used to work with like Nestle in as cybersecurity analyst. Okay, so every day I used to monitor like around like 300,000 systems. Okay, the thing is, you cannot prevent all these sort of things like exploits or whatever. It will happen. It's just how much. How much are you monitoring all these systems and smart contracts and stuff like that? So because it's like a software. So software will have exploits and all these stuff. Not that it will have exploits in each and every software. That's why you have insurance, you have other sorts of like mechanisms in order to protect the users of the protocol, or the consumer, the customers, whatever we want to call it. So that's why you need to have a different sets of like regulations which needs to actually go ahead and do that. And we need to understand what risk are we cannot prevent it 100%. We can just mitigate it to an extent, to a larger extent. And over time it will all be in place. But you cannot mitigate it. So
Yeah, I know. Yeah, just maybe in the future when yeah, move to proof of stake or something like that, because people got incentive to hold rather than to exploit. Maybe there is some solution to that when it comes to exploitation. But at the moment, yeah, it's still happening, right? I mean, people try to catch. I mean, the hacker wanna exploit the funds in order to, yeah, I don't know, dump the market or something like that, right? So.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, right
It's
now,
incentivized that way, That's why Bitcoin is hard to exploit Bitcoin, because in order to exploit Bitcoin, you need to have a 51% attack, right? Which is not cheap at all. You need to have, resources all over the place to roll back the chain, right? So, and then yeah, that's what makes Bitcoins where it is today. And then people, yeah, maybe the direction of pro stake is need to be addressed, because sometimes yeah, we need to like be concise with what the future is look like, right?
yeah, I mean, definitely, like, I mean, today we have like proof of work, proof of stake, proof of delegated stake, proof of history, so there's all sorts of this consensus which comes up, so I mean, neither is like right or wrong. I see it like, for me, like, I mean, I think for you and for everyone, it should just be like a learning experience, just keep learning, it's like changing your phone, like, let's say you were using like Nokia 1100 in the beginning, like, which was like a chocolate phone and you used to play snakes. Now you upgraded it to like, some Android or whatever. So you keep learning different things, and that's how all these technology is, and you just use it to your benefit. And I mean, it just keeps evolving, over time.
Exactly. Yeah, that's pretty much about it. Yeah, it's been like an hour already. I need to wrap this up. Yeah, before I wrap this up, it's just for fun or financial advice. Do you have any specific vehicle for expedition for this bull market? Yeah, it's just for fun. Yeah, you can say whatever you like. I mean, 100K, or is bull market is over, or what?
I think we are already in a bear market,
Oh,
I
already.
mean, if you, like, I mean, of course, bear market means what? Like, it means like, it means like opportunity, so I mean, this is the opportunity to DCA and all that stuff, but I'm not recommending it by any means. You do you, I do
Yeah.
me, and I mean, but just to give some perspective, of the bigger picture, what I'm looking is, I would just highly say, like, if you do any TA and all that stuff, just go ahead and look the chart of Amazon, like, on a weekly chart, Amazon, and a weekly chart of Bitcoin today, okay? And you see how Amazon was back in 2000, which was the dot-com bubble, So it had the same M structure, and then the crash, which we are in right now in the whole crypto industry. And then it took
Yeah, I know.
20
It's
years
like
to
Nike
go
chart,
from
right?
like,
Yeah.
exactly, from $6 all the way up to like $3,600 a share of like Amazon. And this is exactly, I'm not saying this is exactly, but this is most probably going to happen with the same industry, and starting with Bitcoin. Because we see like, I mean, it's going to take time, because all these, there are like 13,000 projects, which are listed in CoinGecko. Do you think all these are going to make it? It's not
Of
gonna
course
make
not.
it,
Yeah.
so you know it, so I mean,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, that's why it's all that matters is on Bitcoin, because yeah, I see the similarities between Bitcoin and tech stock such as Amazon, like you said before, because yeah, it's only about, yeah, I mean, mass adoption, right, and Lindy effects, and then makes the price skyrocketing. But that's not the case on a blockchain, That's why you need to like be careful. Yeah, but you see right now in the bear market, right? I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
okay.
I mean, well, that's what the chart says right now, because we are in the bearish flag, pattern, and usually it breaks to the downside. That's just what TA is telling me, technical analysis. But if it changes, like if it goes beyond like 51,000, maybe in like 2 weeks or something like that, we could be in a slighter uptrend. Who knows? But we don't know. We just
Yeah,
like,
we can never know. Yeah.
yeah, we don't know. But in my opinion, I'm not in favor of the bear market or not in favor of the bull market. You always trade with your small little positions, and you always keep your like hold like the stack which you always want to store. So I mean, it just like, yeah, swing trade based on whatever you think and whatever the chart tells you, so I mean, it's all algorithmic trading, after all. So but anyways, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, maybe we can talk about the algorithmic trading on separate content because right now it's already 1 hour. Yeah, I think that's it for today. Thank you, Jimmy, for coming to my channel. It's been an honor to be here. Yeah, maybe we can have part 2 in at 100K. I don't know when. Maybe next
Yeah,
year
yeah.
or next 2 years. Maybe we can have the part 2, right? Because sometimes we need to remind of this video, right? So.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, it was such a pleasure, to talk to your community, and you've been doing a great job, by educating and spreading the knowledge, and you've been in the space. So I guess like people also look up to you, and just like for educational purposes, keep doing what you do, man, and have a nice one. All right, thanks for
Yeah.
invite.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Support as well, Jimmy. If you have a link, I will share in the description. And leave a like and subscribe to our channel.